All right, we're back. Welcome back to the Malapert Smark podcast. We got Elimination Chamber to talk about today. That was last night where we live, three of us, here in Los Angeles at 2 a.m. None of us stayed up for it. We watched it the next day. For analysis today, I got the Wresting Expert, Vlad. Thank you for joining us, Vlad.
I'm happy to be here to discuss some more wrestling.
And I also got Robert, the Frozen Asian. Thank you for joining us also.
Of course.
And he brought mommy with him, so that's always a treat
today.
Oh yeah, there's your background. Cool. I just noticed that. Well, any thoughts about the show? Did you guys like it? Did you think it was worth staying up for, or did you miss out by not staying up late?
I mean, no, I did like the show for the most part, but I don't think it's something that I needed to stay up until 5 in the morning or something like that to watch live. It's fine if I got, saw it in the morning without having to like balance sleep and all that stuff. So I'm happy that I still saw it, but don't think I missed out watching it live. It's fine.
Robert, what do you think? Overall thoughts, maybe?
General thoughts. We're going to go through the individual segments, right? But
yeah, we will. But just generally, did you like the show? Was it a good show?
Yeah. So I don't think it's worth staying up all night for. So which is why I didn't. So what happened was I tried to go to sleep early last night. Actually, is what I tried to do, so that I could wake up as early as possible to watch as much of it as I can. And I ended up waking up at like 5:30 and saw like the second half of the show. And I had to wait a few hours later for Peacock to replay it, to be able to watch the replay. So a few hours later, I watched the first half, even though like they spoiled the result of it at the end. But I mean, for a PLE, that's not considered one of the 4 big ones. They sure made it look like it was a big deal. The stadium looked beautiful. The stadium and the crowd, it looked like a WrestleMania crowd for
Absolutely.
sure. So it looked amazing. But yeah, I did enjoy it, but no, I wouldn't have stayed up for it.
All right, well, let's go through some of it.
That is really a nice looking stadium.
But from the inside and outside, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it really looks tremendous. Like it's like literally by some body of water.
Mm-hmm.
That looks really cool.
All right, the women's Elimination Chamber. We got Bianca, and we got who else? Raquel Rodriguez. Bianca so far is your favorite out of these two, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton coming off of NXT in a pretty big match right off the bat.
Yeah.
But she's already had experience. She's been put through the ringer, right? I know Robert watches NXT, so
yeah. Well, she's had matches with Becky Lynch, I remember.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, all right, former world champion. Don't expect her to win either, but still good competitor here. Naomi probably got the coolest outfit, right? She glows in the dark. Her shoes have lights, too.
And she just recently came back.
Becky Lynch. All right, who would you say the favorite would be out of Becky and Bianca?
Based on the segments and the Raws leading up to this, Becky Lynch, for sure.
Yeah, I have to agree.
If I hadn't watched the Raw segments, I would have said it's between her and Bianca, but based on the previous Raw episodes, they pretty much telegraphed her victory.
Yeah, based on that, yes, but Bianca's been like a really super strong character. Hardly ever gets beaten for real. All right, so these were the first two in the ring, Naomi and Becky. All right, let's skip through the match. I'm going to skip like 5 minutes in. The next person who came in, we'll just go through who came in. Tiffany Stratton, all right. Who was the next one after this?
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan was next after that, okay. So I think there's going to be an elimination here before the next competitor comes in.
Well, I know there is an elimination. I don't know if it's right before the next person comes in or not, though.
So Naomi did a sunset flip powerbomb
oh, you're right.
To Liv
you're
Morgan
right.
and gets rolled up by Tiffany Stratton right
That's
here.
right.
Okay. All right.
You're correct.
First elimination is Naomi. All right. Well, that's a good pinfall for Tiffany, making her look good. Let's see who came in next. Raquel. All right. I'll skip forward a little bit. All right. Next one was Bianca.
Yeah.
Now it's getting serious, right? Now some of the serious competitors are in there. Bianca got a good spot later in the match, you would think.
Yeah, that's true.
She should be
That's true.
fresh. Let me skip forward a little bit here. Okay, so here's one of the high spots. It's Liv Morgan.
Right.
Let's see if you guys want to rate this. Off the top of the pod onto Raquel, who was in between two of the ropes. Hit her with her
Yeah,
ass.
that was pretty solid. That was pretty good, you know.
Pretty dark in this Elimination Chamber. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it is.
It seemed like the lighting wasn't as good as it usually is for WWE. Well, here's another one of the big spots. It's,
Yeah, this is probably the best spot right here.
Tiffany
Yeah.
Stratton up on one of them pods in the corner, and waiting to catch her at the bottom is Bianca, Becky Lynch, and Raquel. Three of the
Yeah.
biggest superstars in the WWE universe. Tiffany says it's time to do something crazy, huh? Like Sammy Guevara. She's channeling her inner Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. No, but I will say I'm actually been quite impressed with Tiffany Stratton, her brief appearances on SmackDown that she's had. She's actually quite good. I mean, as a character and as a wrestler. I didn't know much about her. I didn't really see those matches with Becky Lynch, but I'm quite impressed, I have to be honest. She's better than a lot of the women already on the main roster.
She's doing really well.
I think they found a good one here. Like, she's a great heel character. Like, perfect. And,
All right, well-
man, her fake slaps are perfect. Like, I don't know if you saw her slap on Bianca on SmackDown. She laid that in perfectly,
Yeah,
man.
she did. She
She
did.
smacked the shit out of her, man. I was like, woo.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
there she
God.
goes.
Well, and you saw the crowd reaction. The crowd was actually rooting for her. You know, they actually wanted her to go. I don't know if they wanted her to win, but they wanted her at least to go
Yeah.
farther.
It didn't seem like that big a move off the top rope that Liv Morgan hit on her, but that was it for
Yeah.
her. Good showing.
Yeah, but good showing. For the most part, really good showing for her. Since this is like her main first time pay-per-view on the main roster, right? So good showing.
All right, so here's the next spot I have bookmarked. Let's see what happens. This is the end of Raquel right here. She's gonna
Yeah.
get kiss of death by Bianca, which is pretty crazy. How she could
Yeah,
do that
I mean,
to
obviously that's fantastic. I mean, that
someone
shows
so big.
what kind of athlete and the strength that Bianca has. Bianca is like the best. She's probably the best athlete amongst both men and women. She's incredible as just an athletic, from
Yeah.
an athleticism standpoint.
She should go over, man. Well, I think the only reason Becky. Well, we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah.
let's finish this match. All right, so this is the end of Bianca. This is how she gets eliminated. She's gonna get rolled up by Liv Morgan after. Well, she doesn't hit the KOD on Becky, but Morgan from behind pulls her tights. Fast elimination, and then in quick succession, this is the end of the match too.
Yeah.
Becky hits Liv Morgan as soon as she turned around, and that was it. Before you knew it, the match was over. Well, anybody want to say anything about the booking?
The only thing I'll say, I mean, I'm fine with the booking. I have no problem with Becky versus Rhea WrestleMania. The only thing I'm a little puzzled, or maybe I don't know if I'm in the minority about, is why Liv Morgan is always like at the end of these. I don't find her interesting. I mean, nothing against her personally. I don't know her. She's probably a fine human being, but as a character and as a wrestler, I think she's way below all these females. Like, I don't understand why they keep putting her in these top spots, which she's just not a top character. She's not a top wrestler. I'm a little
I
puzzled
think
by
she
it.
is, man. I disagree with you there.
I don't think she is. I don't think
I
she
like
is.
how she
doesn't-
sells. Earlier in the match, she was taking punches, screaming. You know, at least she was.
She was
she
taking
registers.
punches, screaming.
Yeah, she
does that
registers
mean?
she registers the damage that's being
Okay,
taken.
so you're saying she sells well. Okay, maybe she does. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen anything that I've been overwhelmed with her or impressed with her ability as a wrestler. She's tiny. I know Becky Lynch is tiny, but Becky Lynch at least has personality. That's the only thing I'm a little confused about. But other than that, this was a great overall match. It really showcased all the females there quite well. And I don't really have a problem with it. It just kind of makes me wonder what they are going to do with Bianca, because I really thought that they were building up Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania. But I guess it's going to be Becky, which is fine too.
I think Bianca. Well, let Robert go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of the booking and all of it, and the match and everything?
Well, I mean, I kind of said it already that Becky's win for me was already telegraphed based on the Raw segments leading up to it. So I predicted her to win just based on that alone. If I hadn't watched those Raw segments, I would have thought both her and Bianca Belair were the two favorites. I do want to make one comment besides just the booking. Oh, I do want to talk about Tiffany Stratton a little bit. Wow, boy, oh boy, does Australia really love Tiffany Stratton. Like
That was surprising.
every single time she got attacked, whoever attacked her was getting booed. Like
Yeah, it was,
everybody.
yeah.
And then anything that she did well was cheered. So yeah, they were clearly cheering for her. I don't know if they wanted they wanted her to necessarily win the whole thing, but they were definitely on her side. So,
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, she's great, and I see a lot of star potential in her. I think she can be a big superstar for the WWE female roster. The only thing about her that I wish she did change is like the whole Tiffy time thing. I don't know. Maybe I just something have to get used to it because whenever she does this, I'm thinking of Damian Lillard.
Oh, like Dave Time.
That's the Dame time. That's Dame time to me when she does that. So I don't know. Maybe in time I'll think of her instead of Damian Lillard whenever I see that. But that's just me personally.
It hasn't
Yeah.
been Dame time in quite a while, but maybe this year in the playoffs. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. But that's his thing. So when she does that, I'm still in my head thinking Dame time, not Tiffy time. But yeah, she's great, and clearly
Yeah, cool.
Australia was on her side. Yeah, as far as the booking, yeah, I don't have any problems with Becky winning because she's been a top star for a long time. So it's not like it didn't make sense. I still think Bianca has looked stronger in the more recent years. But yeah, Becky's still one of the top stars, so it's not a surprise. And especially given the segments in Raw where it clearly shows that WWE was moving towards a feud between her and Rhea Ripley.
Well, I would say I think the reason they booked Becky instead of Bianca is because Becky probably makes more sense logically to do a job for her, you know, like
Yeah.
clean. I think that's probably what it's going to be. And Bianca, I don't know if you don't WWE are smart. They don't let their stars lose clean for no reason. So they wouldn't have sent Bianca out there to lose to Rhea because they need them both to look good for the coming days. So yeah, that's why I don't think it would have made sense to book Bianca versus Rhea. Although it would have been kind of the more juicier match, but who's gonna win? You know, unless there's some kind of shenanigans or something. But I think it's WrestleMania and they probably want just a victory for Rhea and it'll be a good match and that'll be that. So, all right, let's move along.
Yeah, I think, Kahan, you're right on that one. That was a good point.
Kevin Owens acting like a maniac.
All right, so let's move on to the men's chamber match. All right.
He is a maniac. Look at him. Look at the state of him.
Kevin Owens, the first guy, first entrant into the chamber. Not first, he's not going to start the match, but first guy to get a ring walk
First guy,
entrance.
sure, right. These took forever, by the way. This was
Well, yeah, 6 entrances for star
6 entrances,
characters.
deep, long, the ring in this huge-ass stadium.
Yes, well, this is the almighty Bobby
The
Lashley.
ring, Bobby Lashley, right. The ring entrances took forever, I guess.
Probably also not going to win. First 2 characters, no, right?
I would say not, no.
Logan Paul, also probably a no.
No.
But he's really good.
No.
I'll show you some highlights from Logan Paul a little later in the match, but
Logan Paul is a tremendous achievement in how good he is for someone that didn't grow up or work ever in wrestling prior to like the last couple of years. Pretty amazing.
Randy Orton, all right, another former WWE champion.
Yeah, some would say he's one of the greatest of all time, at least on a list of somebody's, right?
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
He doesn't get mentioned as much as when people talk about like the best.
I'm not saying he's the greatest ever,
yeah,
but I'm just saying he might be on the list.
He is really good though.
He's consistent. He's been around for a long time, continuously. So
And he's a legit star. He's a legit
He
star.
is.
Drew McIntyre. All right, now we're talking. Now we're talking contenders. I would have said Randy Orton is even a contender for this one.
Yeah, Orton was a contender.
For sure.
LA Knight. Yes
Yeah.
or no?
Contender.
Contender. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
say I would say
yeah.
that he's a contender. I would say he's a contender. Yeah.
Based
but I
on
would say
his
based. Sorry, Ken, go ahead.
No, based on his recent, how they've portrayed him and his strength as a character, he's a contender in this match. He could win,
Definitely.
technically.
Yes. Based on how they've been booking things, though, I definitely, same way that Robert favored Becky, I definitely thought McIntyre was going to find a way to win this match, or win the match, basically, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, based on how much he's been featured in the storyline, it seemed
Yeah.
that way. Yes, all right.
And you know, I've been praising the guy a lot, and he deserves it.
He's been doing really good work lately.
He's been doing tremendous. Probably the best work of his career, by far.
All right, let's skip a little bit into the match. All right, so LA Knight and Drew McIntyre started the match. Okay. They were the first two in. Let's see who came in after.
Oh, it's Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Okay. Let's see who came in next. I'm going to skip forward about 4 minutes.
Oh no,
It's Lashley. The one thing I'll say about Lashley is amazing. He hardly looks like he's aged at all. Like, I don't understand what his secret is. I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He found the secret to eternal life.
He must, because
He's found the fountain of youth.
you know, they were showing that video sometimes of, you know, with him and Trump and the whole Umaga thing, and he looks identical in that whole
He
feud.
looks exactly the same.
He looks I mean, that was what, like 17, 18 years ago? It's incredible.
I would kill to be Bobby Lashley.
I mean, that, yeah, all props for him to staying in that in tip-top shape, but also he just doesn't look older either.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and he looks awesome, man. He looks like jacked.
Yeah, he's jacked. He's obviously jacked, but yeah, it's amazing. And he's like in his, what, he's got to be in his mid-40s, right? So yeah.
Let's skip forward a little bit. All right, so the next one was Randy Orton. Second to last one coming in. So
Yep.
Logan Paul got the sweet spot of being the last guy to come in. All right, so interesting thing about Randy Orton in this match was him selling a back injury, right? So another
Yeah. He
Another
really sold it.
another example of
Yeah, he sold it, all right.
well, I
Yeah,
consider
good.
it an example of WWE respecting their superstars and giving them an out to not just fucking lose easily for no reason. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, they respected his character. He didn't just get beat clean. He tried really hard. He fought valiantly. But I'm gonna show you
He's gonna start selling it right after this.
Yeah, it's gonna be this part right here where he's
after
gonna
this,
give Kevin Owens a DDT off the middle
Oh,
rope.
and what, he lands on his back?
Yeah, he
And
lands
then-
on his back.
Oh,
But you
and
know
then
what?
he's-
Back. Sorry, Robert.
Go ahead.
No, I mean back in the days, the old Elimination Chamber used to have like chain link floors on the outside. Now it looks like a padded, wonderful place to land on. But he's trying to sell it like, yeah, it's the chamber and it's not the same thing as like a regular ring. Okay, so he's gonna sell that back injury, literally the whole match for the rest of it. Bret Hart style, right, Vlad?
absolutely. If you're
Was
gonna
that-
sell an injury, sell it well, man.
Bret Hart's speciality, huh? Man, sometimes it got annoying to me how Bret Hart would be limping the whole time. But
There's an art to selling, and Bret Hart masters it, as he mastered mostly everything about wrestling.
overselling. No, but I love Bret
Overselling. I
Hart.
don't-
It's better to oversell than to undersell.
Well,
Oh.
there's a limit to how much. There should be a limit to how much you sell, depending on what's being done to you, obviously. But yeah,
Dolph Ziggler was really good at selling.
Dolph Ziggler, definitely.
Yeah, he was amazing at selling moves.
Yeah,
Here's Randy Orton again. Gave LA Knight a backdrop, and then now he's in pain.
selling it.
This part was hilarious. Kevin Owens waiting on Logan Paul, and he's trying to stay inside.
He's like, I ain't coming out. What the hell?
Dude, Logan Paul took some great damage here, dude. Selling,
Oh,
the
yeah.
selling is amazing. This is hilarious.
Kevin sucks. Did you see that? It said Kevin sucks right there. On,
Who
on
was
the,
that?
Sign?
on
On the glass?
I think on the glass. Yeah.
Let me rewind it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Oh, go rewind it a little bit more. Right there. Kevin sucks.
oh, he drew that.
He drew that. Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
That's why he was so pissed at him.
That
No,
makes
these guys
sense. I didn't-
they must be having something going on Raw, right? Or SmackDown or something.
SmackDown.
I haven't
Yeah,
I didn't watch SmackDown the night before this, man. I didn't have time, so I just jumped straight into
Yeah,
Elimination
but
Chamber.
They've been having the thing though. They've been having that thing since
Yeah.
the Royal Rumble, so they're probably good to go for WrestleMania match. You know? No, this was Bobby Lashley.
Oh,
through the.
that looks painful.
Can't be pleasant. I know that's not glass, but still, that can't be. That can't be pleasant. Oh,
Ouch.
Dude, Logan Paul looked like he was genuinely afraid of that before it happened.
I would
hell
be
yeah!
too.
Wouldn't anybody be? You got Bobby Lashley, jacked up guy, coming to football tackle you out of your off your feet and through some. I don't even know what, like I said, what that material is that they're in the elimination chamber, but it looked kind of painful. Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, well, nobody likes Logan Paul, no matter what country.
All right, so here's an elimination, I think. Oh, it's AJ Styles. How did he get into the ring?
I couldn't see how he showed up. Like, I just saw him.
He walked in through the front door.
When Lashley got eliminated, he came in.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. It's supposed to be a cage match. They gotta find a better way to get these people out of there.
Well, they gotta open the door for these guys to
I
leave.
guess this is setting up a WrestleMania feud between LA Knight and AJ Styles, looks like.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fine with me. It's as good as it's a good a distraction as any. He's got to get his mind away from the Universal title, so he's got to do something.
Well, not everybody can be, not everybody can fight for the championship. You got to do somebody's got to do something else.
All right, so there's going to be a Styles clash, and that's going to be the end of LA Knight. For anybody who wanted him to win, I'm sorry.
We've said it before that AJ Styles is one of the best in-ring workers,
absolutely,
of all time.
So McIntyre pins LA Knight. All right. So this is Kevin Owens' elimination. I think he's just gonna. Randy Orton's gonna take a kick to the stomach here, and just push him away and RKO him anyways. So I don't know. Okay, it's fine. He didn't sell that kick to the stomach at all, but okay. He found it somewhere deep within him, right? The voices gave him some extra power.
He can't concentrate on. He can't sell his stomach and his back at the same time. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of a weak elimination for KO, to be honest. But okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was
an RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah, he took his finish. What do you want?
Okay, so this is Logan Paul's elimination, which was so ridiculous. I texted Vlad about this. This is the most ridiculous elimination. One of the most ridiculous eliminations I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
He's proud of himself that he's going to use these brass knucks, but he's got to tell the whole stadium. He's like, look, he wants the people all the way in the top decks to see that I've got brass knucks here. Hell yeah, here we go.
Did he see where
out of nowhere?
Didn't he see where anybody was when he was doing
that? Was not out of nowhere, dude.
Well, it was out of nowhere for us because we didn't have the camera because of the camera angle.
Took way too long. Okay.
Yeah, it didn't make him look very intelligent, just standing around with that brass knuckles waiting to get RKO'd. I agree with that.
All right, so Orton with his bad back is going to go up against Drew McIntyre for the last few minutes of this match. Let's move forward and see what happened. Here we go. So it looked like Randy Orton was dead to rights again, and RKO out of nowhere. Man, Randy Orton really looked like a superstar in this match, but he's going to get hit by Logan Paul's brass knuckles. He never left the ring. There's got to be a better way to get these guys out of the ring. This is not fair, but okay. My criticism of the Elimination Chamber match, the door opening and everything, some cage match, okay.
Well,
and when they get eliminated, right when they get eliminated, you expect them to roll out of the ring. Like they've just been severely knocked out and pinned for 3 seconds, and they're supposed to roll quickly and get out. It takes forever. It's a lot of time for someone to get into the ring. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Vlad?
I was gonna say real quick that my only slight problem with the ending of this one was when McIntyre took the RKO. He literally got up so quickly to cover. He just got on top of him. He wasn't selling that he just got RKO'd. I don't know. That's my only slight criticism. I'm fine with the result and I'm fine with the winner. I think this is the better choice than anybody else, like Orton or anybody else. But still, it's like, you know, they could have figured out a more neater way to get to where they got to, anyways. But other than that, no real complaints.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense more for the storyline that's been happening. I mean, Orton is a star that could have main evented WrestleMania in that spot, but
Yeah.
it's Drew McIntyre now. Any comments
I
from
think
Robert? Or, sorry. Go ahead, Vlad. You finish first.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's McIntyre's time. I think. I mean, they've been really doing a good job building that character. I think they should continue on that progression.
Robert, thoughts about the men's Elimination Chamber now that we've been through both of them?
It wasn't bad. I enjoyed the women's one a little bit more. Now, but I do have to say that, you know, similar with Becky Lynch's win, the TV shows, both Raw and SmackDown, pretty much telegraphed his victory here as well. So I don't mind the booking, but I just wish it for future elimination chambers they don't make it as obvious. But, you know, the matches itself were fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the main event. The main event of the evening. It's Nia Jax against Rhea Ripley, the hometown girl. They're in Australia. They gave her the main event. She's the women's world champion as opposed to just the women's champion. But okay. So here's Nia Jax. Vlad, what do you think of Nia Jax?
Well, not much, to be honest. I was really interested to see what kind of match. I think I texted you right before I think we were watching at the same time, like what kind of match Rhea could get out of her, because she's a difficult person to wrestle with and get a good match out of because she's so large. She's kind of you can't really move her around that well. She doesn't move that well, but so I was really curious what they were going to do here and what Rhea could get out of her as far as a quality match. And without giving much away, I thought they pulled off definitely the best Nia Jax match I've ever seen, without question. But yeah, I know you were just asking generally just about Nia, so that were my thoughts on Nia specifically.
So far you haven't been impressed with her, basically.
I mean, is there a reason to be impressed with her? I don't know.
She sure is an attraction, man. I mean, when she comes out, she looks like larger than life.
She's big, so
yeah,
she's huge.
Yeah, that's an attraction in the world of wrestling. You know,
So I don't know if it's just me, but when I saw her in this match, to me she looked like she slimmed down a little bit. She didn't
Nia
look
Jax?
as big as
I thought she looked bigger than usual. Personally, I got the thought that I was like, oh man, they must be letting her eat whatever she wants.
Yeah,
they're probably instructing her.
You did say that. You did say that. Well, I don't know if she looked any bigger than she usually did. I actually think this is the way she always looks, to be honest. But I didn't see any. So I'm going to split the difference. I didn't think she was slimmer, and I didn't think she was heavier. She's always this big.
But all right, enough about the physique then. But I do want to pretty much echo Vlad's thoughts on what he said about Nia Jax. I think she's very unsafe to work with, at least
I didn't even mention that part of it, but yeah.
So yeah, like I was worried that something like an injury could happen in this match, and generally the one-on-one matches I've seen with Nia Jax weren't that great, so I didn't have very high expectations for this.
All right, well, let's move forward and see some of the work, I guess, and I'll just let some of the early parts play for like a minute and see if we have any thoughts about it, and then I'll move on to some of the highlights of the match. All right, so we're watching Nia Jax just take a bunch of punishment from Rhea. Standing on her feet, though.
Yep, hasn't been brought well. No,
I've never seen Rhea do that before.
Yeah, like a little her Corona type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
She was going all in, man, for this match in her hometown, her home country.
All right, well, let's move on to the big spot, or one of the big spots. There was a couple of big spots. So when they go to the outside of the ring a little later on in the match, we're going to see Nia Jax fly through a table onto Rhea Ripley, right?
Oh,
Is that
my
what
God.
happened?
My heart was in my chest. I was worried for both of them, but specifically Rhea. I was like, this could go wrong so many ways.
Oh.
She could trip, she could fall. She could fall on her. She could land on her.
The table doesn't break.
Well, it didn't break for that one, so it wasn't ready to break.
But I
So
knew one way or another if Nia was going to jump off and
look, she's jumping off. Nia's jumping off a rolling chair, too.
Yeah,
A rolling chair. That's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, crazy.
And jumps
Absolutely
onto
insane.
Rhea and destroys the table.
I mean, a woman of
Wicked.
her size, that's crazy.
And throws her back in the ring. And then she gives her the, what is her move called?
Well, I
The
think she calls it the
Annihilator?
squash.
The Annihilator.
Oh, okay. I never heard of that, but I just still call it the bonsai drop.
Yeah.
And it looked good, but Rhea kicked out. Vlad said she kicked out too easily. I thought she pushed her off. It looked like a struggle.
Well,
It was like, get off of me.
I don't know. Like,
I think she
how
just took
else?
so much punishment. She just took so much punishment.
I don't know how else she could have kicked out.
That's true. It's not maybe so much that she kicked out too easily. It's just so much that she took so much punishment and then she was able to kick out. Maybe they shouldn't have done that.
So you think that should have been the end of the match right there, Vlad?
Well, obviously, no. I don't think that should have been the end of the match. But I also don't know if she should have given her finish like that, especially after she just took a beating on the outside. I think that's my point. Logistics, psychology. That's my point.
All right, let's go to the top rope superplex spot.
Yeah,
this is Nia Jax going to the top rope, which everyone
oh my God.
The stadium was like, what the hell's going on?
I was having a panic attack. I was having another panic attack. I'm not
Why
even
is
in
she
the match,
going to the top rope? But they pulled off the superplex pretty well.
Yeah,
Nia injured me? There's a sign that says Nia injured me.
Yeah.
Yes, I just saw that. Fantastic.
Well, they looked past all that dangerous work, apparently, that she did. They need her to be an attraction on this show.
Come on, man. I mean, okay. Well, let's discuss about Nia in a sec. I don't want to. We'll just wait on why she's in this position in the first place.
Well, this is the Riptide to end the match, which nobody thought she would be able to put Nia Jax in. But also, this match went off.
She got
really,
her highest. Yeah.
Really
she got
well.
her highest pretty good.
So there you go. Rhea's gonna be the champion heading into WrestleMania to face Becky Lynch. All right, who wants to give their thoughts on this match? Robert?
This was easily the best Nia Jax match I've ever seen. Now, keep in mind, I did say earlier that I had low expectations based on her history, but okay, having said that, this was actually pretty good. I also want to say I love that Rhea Ripley is main eventing a PLE. I know this is in her home country, but I definitely wouldn't mind seeing her main eventing other PLEs, even the ones that are not in Australia. Like I would have no problem with that. Yeah, of course, in WrestleMania, like if Roman Reigns, whatever Roman Reigns is being involved in, they'll more than likely he's gonna main event. But yeah, I mean, she's a big star. She's very over.
Yes.
Why not put her in more main events? So this is awesome. Awesome to see.
All right, Vlad?
Yeah, it was absolutely the best match of Nia Jax's career, at least that I've seen. I mean, if somebody wants to show me another one, I'd love to see it. I've never seen anything at all to come close to this. As far as Rhea, I mean, she's a star. She looks amazing. She treats herself like a star. She's presented as a star, and she does everything flawlessly. And I think she carried this match. I mean, I don't know. People want to argue like who called this match or who called the spots and whatever. I would assume Rhea did, because otherwise I don't think it would have gone off as well as it did. I think she's just one of the best women's wrestlers, and forget women's wrestlers. She's probably one of the best wrestlers in the world at this point. She's tremendous. She is as over as you could possibly get without having to work crazy amount of matches or like having to work repeatedly every week. She's just on her personality alone, she's gotten over. And of course, she is also a great wrestler too. But I'm just saying, personality takes you a long way in this business, and it's taken her to basically the top of the industry. So good for her. She's main evented in her hometown. That must have been a nice feeling with her family. That's really cool. And yeah, it was a great night for her. Probably a good night for women's wrestling that they could, that a women's match was the main event of one of their. I mean, I know it's happened before, but still a nice showcase showing how far we've come with women's wrestling, at least in the WWE.
All right. Well, this is the road to WrestleMania, so we got a few more pieces of the puzzle to go into our idea of what might happen and who might face who. The one other thing that happened on this show was Cody Rhodes, right? He was on that Grayson Waller effect segment. Seth Rollins was there too.
Off the snake once and for all. Cody, I admire your challenge to The Rock, but when it comes to the bloodline, you know, the entire world knows there is no such thing as one-on-one. So if and when The Rock decides to take you up on that challenge, just know you won't be fighting that battle alone.
This smile that Cody gives every time Seth tells him, "You won't be alone, I'm gonna help you." It's like, oh, because he's helping me, I got this. I'm gonna win now for sure. I can't believe it. My dream is gonna come true. Wow.
Do you think that's the smile that he's showing here? That he thinks
It's like,
Seth is
wow,
gonna help?
it's really
Seth is gonna
gonna
help him with
happen.
it.
I'm really gonna finish my story. Wow.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what you
anyways.
wanted to show. That's what you
That's-
wanted to show, just to make fun of Cody's smile.
Yes, but anyways,
Oh.
that's the other piece we got. It wasn't really much new. He did say that before on Raw too, that he would have his back at WrestleMania. So it's kind of a
But the
waste
big
of a
thing
segment,
is, like,
in my opinion.
well,
But
Yeah.
well, sort of. But what does that mean that he wants to have a match with The Rock? Does that mean that they're gonna have a? I mean, obviously, it can't be a WrestleMania. So, are they actually gonna have something? Are they teasing something just for a later date after post WrestleMania? I don't know. Just worth talking about, I guess, of why that's even been brought up.
there is going to be a match, Cody versus The Rock. That's what's my prediction from last week, if you
You
guys
did say
don't
that.
remember.
You did. So, but you think because The Rock is going to cost Cody at WrestleMania, and that will. By the way, is this wait? What? He has 3 lenses on his. I just know. I haven't been paying attention, and now that he's right in
Yeah.
front of me, oh my god. Okay, well, it's hard to take. I'd like to take Seth Rollins seriously, and then he shows up in these goofy outfits, and then I.
This is actually less goofier than usual for him, actually. But okay.
But
So
the 3 lenses.
I
Okay,
do
yes, go ahead,
I
Robert.
do want to make a comment regarding this segment, though. A little bit earlier on in the segment, Cody, it sounded like he was gonna talk about what the conversation that he had with The Rock, that led to the decision, to step away from that WrestleMania match. I think he was about to talk about it, but
Yeah.
then Grayson Waller interrupted with, "Wait, you're talking about the people's champ, right?" And Cody had to respond with, "Well, for him to be the people's champ, he has to be with the people." And then so that is right before that, it sounded like he was going to discuss what the conversation with The Rock was about, but then they pivoted away from it. And I was a little upset about that because I wanted to know what that conversation was, because we've talked about it before in previous episodes where that was still like a plot hole, right? And so I was really curious as to what was said between the two of them, but they didn't go there, so oh well.
Yeah, that's true.
Valid,
No,
very valid.
we're gonna forget about that. What was said between them was that he was gonna step aside and let him do it, but then he started making fun of his fans, calling them crybabies, and that changed the whole story. So
Okay, well, I wanted more details on that conversation, but okay, I guess we're not
now,
getting that.
fuck The Rock. He doesn't want to talk about when he was hanging out with The Rock. Now they're enemies now.
Well, yeah,
It,
but they
it
could have
happened real quick.
Yeah, no, but I think Robert has a valid point. They could have actually explained that a little bit more. It would have been better for the angle and the story they're trying to tell. But it's fine. I mean, if they probably don't have a really great explanation, so so it's fine they didn't either. It probably would have made things worse just based on them having to try to create one out of thin air.
Well, all right. That's all for this episode of the Malapert Smark podcast. We encourage you to subscribe for future content as we're heading into WrestleMania. Our experts here, Vlad, the wrestling expert, and Robert, the frozen Asian. Thank you for joining us for our review of the Elimination Chamber and to talk about the upcoming WrestleMania that we're all looking forward to. So you guys will hang tight. We'll record some more content for the week. We're going to talk about AEW a little bit. You guys want to do that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Oh, my God.
Yes, let's talk about AEW.
We'll see you guys on the next upload.